Okay, good afternoon. A warm welcome to the Chang International Circuit. Welcome to Buriram for round 18 in the MotoGP World Championship at the PT Grand Prix of Thailand. Joining us are the top three riders in the World Championship for press conference number one, led by Prima Pramac Racing's Jorge Martin. Jorge leading the World Championship by 20 points, 26 podiums so far in 2024, and the pole position, sprint win and Grand Prix treble here last year. And of course, that Grand Prix, the fourth closest podium in Premier Class history. To Jorge's right, we welcome the reigning world champion, Ducati Lenovo team rider Pecco Bagnaia, second in the World Championship, winner of 14 races so far in 2024. Pecco second in that thrilling Grand Prix here last year, and a Moto2 winner here in 2018. And completing today's lineup, Gresini Racing's Marquez. Marc third in the World Championship, of course, the winner of the 3 of the last 6 Grand Prix, including that amazing race 4 days ago in Phillip Island. Marc, the winner here in 2018 and 2019. Of course, 2019 was where he won his 8th World Championship, and he could take his 150th career podium here on Sunday. Gentlemen, welcome to all three of you. Jorge, we'll start the press conference with you. Buriram was one of your strongest weekends of the season last year, that amazing Grand Prix victory. How confident are you you've got the potential to repeat that, go for the treble again, and how big will that be for the World Championship?
Yeah, well, for sure, I'm happy that I'm still battling for this championship. For sure, I'm in a good moment. We came from Indonesia, Japan and Australia that were all really, really good. So yeah, Australia was really good. I wanted to win, but was really difficult. But yeah, confident for this race. For sure, will be really hot. Will be difficult. I think both Marc and Pecco will be really strong. So I think that will be a really tough weekend.
Pecco, we'll come on to you. Of course, 2 podiums from a difficult weekend last time out in Phillip Island. Sorry, 1 podium in the Grand Prix. Buriram, though, is a good track to show your speed and potential that we know you have. How important is it to not lose points to Pecco, to Jorge this weekend? And do you feel that you can show that full potential again here this weekend?
The ambition is to do it, to recover points and being competitive. We know that this track is better for me in terms of performance. I always been on the podium in Phillip Island in the last 3 seasons, but I was always not the fastest, and I was struggling more or less every season. This year more, we went in the wrong direction on Saturday, then was a bit too late on Sunday, and these 2 guys were just faster. So I had to slow down and just try to finish the race, because I was struggling a lot also to finish the race with the tires. And nothing, we are arriving here that is a track that I like. It's a track where our potential can be higher, and I love the layout, so we can have a good weekend.
Hopefully a great weekend here for you on the team, Pecco. Marc, we'll come on to you then. Of course, in great form at the moment, as you mentioned, winner of the 3 of those last 6 Grand Prix. You won here in 2018 and 2019 in those thrilling last lap battles. How high are expectations, Marc, that you can be in that fight again? And do you expect it to be another last lap decider here in Buriram?
I mean, it will be difficult, especially because these 2 guys, I expect that they will put the target super high if we want to fight for the victory. But we will try to continue our progress. Last races has been super good, consistency, fast enough to fight for the podium. So let's see if here we can fight again for the podium.
Okay, guys, best luck to all 3 of this weekend. We'll now invite, please, questions from the media. Thank you.
Here, Borja González for the song. A question to Marc. Marc, how do you see this final fight in between Pecco and Jorge and Pecco? It looks from outside that this GP it must be super important for Pecco, because he's 20 points behind the leader.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's not an easy situation for both of them, and a long time ago, what I remember, what you can feel when you are in that position. You are not enjoying, you're just suffering, because of course you know that in 3 races you will know that if you are a world champion or no. But apart of that, they are in a good shape, they are super fast. Of course, Martin have this small advantage. Pecco maybe need to take a little bit more risk to recover that advantage, but Pecco already know how to win a championship. He's 2 times world champion, and Martin have his opportunity. So let's see.
Hi everybody, Mela Chércoles from Diario EA San Cadena Ser. Two questions for Pecco. Pecco, the first one, I was speaking with Tardoci after Australia race, and he told me that really in this moment, 20 points are nothing. Are you agree with him? And the second one is a curiosity. Do you prefer the press conference like today with Marquez, Martinator, and you, or only face-to-face with Martinator, like boxing?
It's different. 2 years ago, when you were arriving 3 races to go with 20 points, was more critical than right now. That every weekend you can take 9 points, 12 points more. So it's a bit different, and it's like we are seeing. It's easy to gain a lot, lose a lot. So 3 years ago was different, and right now 20 points in this moment are not that. It's not a huge gap, but in any case, are 20 points. So you have to gain, and if you want to win, you have to do something more. And for me, it's the same. Press conference with them both, or just us, or me alone. For me, it's the same.
Simon Patterson from the race. Question for the three of you. Last weekend, we saw the big crash in the sprint race with the Aerodynamics playing a role in it. I think all three of you have had near misses caused by a similar thing at different points in different corners. Is this something that the Safety Commission should be talking about? Is this a conversation that we need to be having about the role that Aero plays in these really dangerous crashes?
For me, we are, professional riders, so we know the risk we take. For me, the action is quite clear. Race direction took their decision. If you are already overtaken by another rider, you need to be a bit more cautious, let's say, and brake a bit earlier. So I think, it happens also with me, with Marc. I overtake him and nothing happened. So I think we are, we know what to do in different situations and the risk we take. So I think it was quite clear.
I think there are some corners in the World Championship that are a bit more critical in terms of aerodynamics, but if we look what happened to Zarco and Marc in 2017, I don't remember well, was the same. So if you are braking the guys in front of you, if you are overtaking the guys in front of you in the straight and then you arrive to his line, so the guys behind is a bit more on the risk because get sucked by the slipstream. So it's not easy to try to avoid this crash, but you try to avoid it, you try to manage the situation in the best way possible. If you feel that the rider is overtaking you, you try to manage it a bit, but the situation is quite difficult. It happened to me in Qatar last season when Dija overtook me and I arrived on the slipstream. He's back when we started to brake, and I get stuck the same. So it's not easy. So for sure, surely we will have to speak in the Safety Commission about it, but it's nothing you can change immediately. So the situation is what it is, and nothing.
Yeah, I give my opinion about that after the race, but I did a mistake because I speak without checking well the image. And I say on that time that was a race incident, but for me it was not a race incident, it was a mistake of Bezzecchi, because already on the middle of the straight, Viñales was in front. So it's like when Jorge Martin overtook me, on the middle of the straight was already in a parallel, before to arrive on the break point, so then you need to anticipate. It's true that on the past I had a similar moment with Zarco, but it's true that on that moment I overtook him in the break point and it was a big group. But the race direction took the decision. It's true that you can say aerodynamic, but I believe that that action without aerodynamic finished in the same way.
Hi guys, Adam Wheeler for the Paddock Pass podcast over here. A question for Pecco and Jorge. What's your opinion on this event and this circuit having the first Grand Prix in 2025?
Well, for me, I mean, I don't know. I will see because I know Ducati is quite strong here, and next year I won't be with a Ducati. But at the end of the day, it's one more race. So having it at the beginning of the end is the same. Luckily, we have a test, and I like this track. So for me, it's okay. I don't know about the weather here in those periods, like in March or February, but yeah, for me it's the same.
For me, it will not change that much, honestly. The only thing is different is that starting the championship in Qatar was super good. I loved to start there, and it will be different. But the only difference will be that looks that we went here just 3 days before. So like this season in Qatar, we raced in October or was in November. And then we went here again from the start of the season. It looks very strange to have these races in a short period, but will be the same for me.
Matteo Aglio from La Stampa GP1. I have a question for all three of you. It's almost certain that Iannone will replace Di Giannantonio in Sepang. What do you think about the comeback of Andrea in MotoGP after 5 years?
Well, for me, I mean, it's good to see him back on a MotoGP. I think after, what he went through, then he went to Superbike, he won a race, so he's, demonstrating that he's still on a good level. Also, I remember in the World Ducati Week, he was 1 second faster than me, so maybe he's still fast, and I think, let's see if he's able to ride, but I think it's a good opportunity for him to say the people that he's still strong.
I think I hope to see Bulega on this bike, because I think when you have a possibility to try a MotoGP bike, you have to take it. And I think Iannone will enjoy a lot with us. Surely Malaysia is not an easy track to be riding. We saw last season Bautista what he did, but I think he will enjoy. You already know what is a MotoGP bike, and he will take it as a fun moment.
As they say, and for me it will be nice to see Iannone there, because I had a nice fight. Of course, it's super difficult in one race straight away in the MotoGP, and 4 years later be fast. I mean. Maybe he's a Superman, Iannone, and can do it, but because he has a very good talent. But yeah, will be nice, and I think the approach is like a present. It's like a moment.
Here, Alexis Hontan for the French news agency. A question for Pecco. To be number 2 at the World Championship, does it change something for you in the way you prepare for the course and for the race? Do you feel more pressure?
I feel like the same, like always. It's the 4th season in a row that I'm fighting for the championship. It's true that in 21 I lost it in three races to go, and in the last 2 seasons I was always or behind or in front. But for me the strategy is always the same. So preparing well the weekend, the pressure is the same. Being the leader or the hunters is the risk that change a bit. But I think I will do it in the same way like always.
Hi again, me, Borja González Dazón. A question for Pecco. You were saying before Japan, when you were analyzing the tracks, that Phillip Island maybe suit better for Jorge, but this one, it could be better for you, but I don't know which is the explanation, because if we see what happened last year, he won the sprint and the race, and you were not so fast. So I would like to understand, why do you feel that you can be stronger than him?
Because honestly, Phillip Island was a track where Jorge was always fast, in 22 and 23. And last year he won here, being the smartest and not the fastest, because he was competitive from the start of the weekend. But I think that other riders were a bit faster. Me, I was stronger in the Sunday race, but I was a bit stuck, a bit behind. And then when I arrived to the group, to the leading group, I was a bit more on trouble. But I'm considering the tire, I'm considering the track, and I think he's switching. It's not that he will not be fast, but it's more that this track is a bit more on my side.
Good afternoon. This is Thomas Kutru for Speedweek.com. A question to Marc, please. Marc, you basically said already that your targets for the season are almost overachieved with these successes, but we have still 8 competitions to go. what is the key priority for you for this end of the season phase?
Of course, I mean, the main targets are done, but always you want to finish in a good way the season and try to be there on a constant way on that podium will be one of the targets. And yeah, if I can win another race, why not? Let's see what we can do. But I know that where I can improve, where I need to work for next year. So if you start already now, will be a small help for next year.
Yes, Manuel Pecino for Riding Sport Japan. Pecco, that's for you. Going back to Iannone's comeback, how much has the Ducati changed in the last 5 years? Do you know that he will find a very different bike than the one he used to ride?
Yeah, because he stopped with Ducati in 2016, so the difference is huge. I never tried the 2016, but the first one I tried was the 2017, and was a mix of 2017-18 in 2019, and was completely different compared to the bike that we have right now. Our bike right now is adapt a bit better to everybody, but you have to be fast and strong. You have to force it a bit, because if not, it's a very competitive bike, but you have to be a bit aggressive in some circumstances. And I think, like we saw last season in Malaysia with Alvaro, that he finished last both races, and but not because he's slow, but because to adapt to a MotoGP bike is not easy. To adapt to a Ducati bike is not easy. It's true that can give to you a lot of potential, but to use it, you have to force a lot.
Michel Turco, Motor Revue. Question for you, Marc. Fighting with two guys who are fighting for the World Championship, arriving in, let's say, the money time, do you feel more, I won't say more pressure, but do you think you have to be more careful fighting with them? And did you get any advice from Tardozzi about that?
No, of course, I mean, I have enough experience to try to manage the situation, but yeah, in the end, even if it's fighting for the World Championship or it's another rider, but you never try to overtake thinking that you will hit the other. I mean, always you try to avoid, but in the end, as we see in Australia, if I need to be strong and I believe in my potential, I will do. I'm fighting for that third place of the championship. That is not the first place, but for me it's important. So yeah, I will try my best. Of course, always try to take care, but as we did all riders with the different situations, you never want to hit another rider, but sometimes you cannot control.
No, but I wasn't speaking about any collision, just about points matter, because you can. In Australia, you didn't get any points because you were first, but if you are in the middle, you can help. Even if you don't want, you can help one against another. So is it something you have in mind or not?
Yeah, even on 2015, I didn't. I was not in the middle, and I take points theoretically to somebody. So you never know. You cannot control these things. I mean, I will do my 100%.
Okay, are we just having a quick check to make sure the media are happy? Are we done here? Everybody's happy with the question? Okay, gentlemen, if we can just ask you to stand for the photo. Thank you very much. Okay, guys, thank you. Best luck this weekend.